This is Guitar Lesson 101-2, How to Read a Guitar Chord Diagram. In this lesson, you will be able to identify what are shown in a chord diagram and be able to know the position of each finger for a particular chord. And by the end of the lesson, you will have a good understanding about chord diagrams and how to read them. But before we get started, kindly take this moment to subscribe to this channel and help it grow. First, let's review the parts of the neck of the guitar, as this will help us understand a chord diagram. Shown here are two types of guitar. This one is an acoustic guitar. It's called an acoustic because the sound is produced acoustically. And the other one is an electric guitar. It's called an electric guitar because the sound is produced using electricity. Though the sound is produced differently, acoustically and using electricity, the structure of both guitars or of both types is pretty much the same. Now, let's discuss the parts of the guitar that are involved in reading a chord diagram. First is the nut. This one here is the nut. Similarly, this is the nut for this type of guitar. And the spaces where we put our fingers on, here, sometimes we put our fingers somewhere here, or in the middle, or maybe somewhere here. This space is what we call fret. We are given this much of a space to produce a particular sound. So for example, if I press right here, that's the sound. If I press here in the middle, the sound. And if I play somewhere here near this thing, you get the same sound. So we are given this much of a space to produce the same sound. Similarly, we are given this much of a space to produce another sound, like. So we call these spaces as frets. So for an electric guitar, we also call these spaces as frets. Now this thing, when we press a sound right here, this is the sound. The moment we cross this wire, the sound is different already. And since this space is a fret and this is another fret, we call this wire that separates this fret from this fret as fret wire. So these are fret wires. Similarly, for an electric guitar, these are the fret wires. And to differentiate a fret from another fret, we call this one as the first fret, and the next one as the second fret. This one is the third, fourth, fifth, and so on. Similarly, for an electric guitar, this is its first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret, and so on. And both guitars have the same number of strings. We see 6 strings on this guitar and 6 strings on this guitar. And the strings are numbered. The thinnest one is numbered 1, and the next one is number 2, and this would be 3, 4, 5, and 6. So as you can see, the thinnest string is numbered 1 and the thickest is numbered 6. So the thickest is the one that sounds the lowest in pitch, that's number 6, and the thinnest is the one that sounds highest in pitch, and that's number 1. So remember these things, as this will help us understand and read a diagram for guitars. And if you're not familiar to the parts of the guitar, I would recommend that you watch the Guitar Lesson 101-1, which discusses all the parts of the guitar. You can click this card right here for that lesson. And that lesson will also be found at the end of this video as one of the end screens. Earlier, you have learned that this spaces are the frets. And so, if these spaces are the frets, this whole board that starts from here up to here is what we call a fretboard. It is also called a fingerboard because it is the board where we put our fingers on. But in terms of frets, this whole thing is a fretboard. And so for this acoustic guitar, the fretboard is from here up to the sound hole. This is the sound hole. So this whole thing, this board, is the fretboard. I'm going to show you a chord diagram. Now, this is an enlarged print of a chord diagram. And you see elements of a chord diagram. There's these horizontal elements, the horizontal lines. And there are vertical elements, the vertical lines. And you see symbols like X and 0 or letter O, and some numbers, and of course the name of the chord. This diagram is a chord diagram for C major chord. A C major chord is a major chord in key of C. There are many types of chords, and a major chord is just one of those types. And there are 12 keys in music, and this chord is a major chord in key of C. In learning to read chord diagrams, it is also important to learn the left hand finger's notation. And this is my left hand. The index finger is numbered 1 or notated number 1, middle finger number 2, ring finger number 3, and the pinky number 4. So remember this notation: number 1 for index finger, number 2 middle finger, number 3 ring finger, and number 4 pinky. Now let's relate a chord diagram to the fretboard. As you can see, this horizontal element, which is heavier and darker among these lines, or heavier or darker compared to these other horizontal lines, it actually represents the nut, this. So if this heavy or darker line represents the nut, therefore this line is this fret wire, and this line is the other fret wire, and this line is this fret wire, and this line is the other fret wire. So all these horizontal lines are this: the heavier line, the nut, and the other horizontal lines are the fret wires. So now you can see that the chord diagram is like a representation of the fretboard. The only thing is that this diagram only shows you how many frets? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the first fret, which is this fret, and this one here, the second fret, and this one here, the third fret, and this one, the fourth fret. So if these horizontal lines are the nut and the fret wires, therefore the other lines, the vertical lines, and there are 6 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actually represent the strings. This line is the number 1 string, the thinnest, and this line, the second string. This line, the third string. This line, the fourth string. This line, the fifth string. And this line, the sixth string, the thickest string. So those are the strings. So these spaces are the frets. So as you can see here, this number 1 tells you that this area here is the first fret, and this area is the second fret, and this area is the third, and this area is the fourth, and these are the first 4 frets. This diagram shows you the first 4 frets: first, second, third, fourth, first, second, third, fourth. Now the other symbols that you will see in a chord diagram are this: the dots. The dots actually refer to your fingertips, the tips of your fingers, because of course this would be the fingertips. And this diagram shows you 3 dots. Therefore, it tells you that for this diagram you need 3 fingertips. And since we have 4 fingertips, right? And this is number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now, on the diagram, you can see that the dots are numbered. This dot is numbered 1. So that means this dot is the tip of your index finger, which is numbered 1. This finger. And this dot is numbered 2. And this tells you that this would be the tip of your middle finger, which is this finger. And this dot, which is numbered 3 or has a number 3 on it, tells you that it is the fingertip of your ring finger. Now, the diagram shows you information. It tells you that on this line, which is the second string, right? You have your index at first fret. You have the tip of your index finger, this one, on the second string at first fret, and it will be here. And then the second dot, number 2, tells you that you have the tip of your middle finger on what string? That's the number 4 string, as this is number 1, number 2, number 3, and this would be number 4 strings. So this dot is the tip of your middle finger on the number 4 string, and at which fret? That's the second fret. So my number 2 finger on the 4th string at second fret. And then the other dot is number 3, and this tells you that it's your third finger, the tip of your third finger, and this is the third finger, the tip of your third finger on this string, which is the 5th string, as this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So the tip of your third finger is on the 5th string. At which fret? 3rd fret. So to interpret this, I would have my third finger on the 5th string, and this is the 5th string at 3rd fret, there. So to complete these dots on the diagram, on the fretboard of the guitar, it would be here. Index finger here goes on the 2nd string at 1st fret. My middle finger goes on the 4th string at 2nd fret, and my ring finger goes on the 5th string at 3rd fret, there. So these are the positions for my left hand fingers. And what about these symbols X and O's here? Okay, let's take these symbols first. These are O's. It stands for open. If you look at the strings, they are placed next. This symbol is placed next to this string or to this line, which is actually the first string. And this O here is placed next to this line, which is actually the 3rd string. Now, the diagram tells you that the 1st and the 3rd strings are to be played open. That's what this letter O stands for, open. So these strings are not fingered. As you can see, there are no dots on them. They are left open and they are part of the chord. So you are going to play these open strings together with the fingered strings. And the fingered strings are the ones with the dots. And the letter X, this tells you that the line next to it is not to be played. And the line next to it is actually the sixth string for this chord. So the sixth string is not to be played for this chord. So for this chord, you will only play the number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 strings. The number 6 is not part of the chord. So if I'm going to interpret the chord diagram on an acoustic guitar, I would have my index finger or number 1 finger on the second string at first fret, my number 2 finger or middle finger on the number 4 string at second fret, and my number 3 or ring finger on the 5th string at 3rd fret. The first string left open, as well as the 3rd string, they are left open. So I have, for this chord, I have 2 strings left open or played open, and I have 3 fingered strings. But the number 6 is not part of the chord, so it's a dead string. That's why it's marked with an X. So for C major chord, you will strum only 5 strings. And that's the sound of C major chord. So that's how to read a chord diagram. It is my sincerest hope that you have learned from this lesson or from this video or tutorial. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it yet, or if you have not subscribed yet. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to click the like and the subscribe button.